Hello, my beautiful friends. Julianne here of Julianne Annette Art. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. If you're new, I'd love it if you consider subscribing. I would love to have you stick around. Today's video is what I think everybody's favorite video is of the month, the completed pages. So it wasn't a huge month for me. As some of you may know, I ended up with an eye infection this month, and I had really blurry vision and I just couldn't see any details. So I couldn't color for almost 2 weeks. And even when I could start coloring again, I could only do like really simple stuff. So definitely affected my ability to color for the month, but that's okay. It is what it is. Onwards and upwards, right? So I just wanted to quickly share my stats for the month, which you don't need to see my crappy writing. For YouTube, I actually ended November with 517, and then I've ended December with 651 subscribers. So that's a gain of 134, which is awesome. So thank you so much to everybody who is subscribing. And on Instagram, I ended November with 662 followers and December with 718. So that's a gain of 56. So again, thank you to everyone who follows me on Instagram. And if you don't already, maybe you want to go check me out on Instagram. So on to the pages. I'm going to start with just showing you my whips. Because basically, like, this is one here that I had started, and then I just didn't get any further because of the eye infection. I couldn't really see any of the detail, and so I'll continue this through January. January is definitely going to be a month of whips for me. I have, I think, one actual buddy color planned for January, and then I will do my Matchstick Mouse page and my I'm going to try to do a mythographic, but it might not happen. We'll see how it goes. I'll get it started, but I might not finish it because I do really want to focus on the whips, but I digress. We're doing whips for now, completed pages and whips. So this is my next whip, and I just, you know, I started with the red basing and the tree and this, and I was quite happy with it. And then I went in with these pastels for the candies. And I mean, I don't love how it looks. I feel like I went too dark with this greenery stuff, but it's all fixable with colored pencil. I just kind of lost my motivation for it. So this one is just going to get put away until next Christmas. I'm not gonna go back to this in January. You know, come November next year, I'll come back to that. The next one is in this, did I say that's, I don't think I've said what anything is. I feel very out of practice still for my videos because I haven't been able to make them as much. So this is Fairy Tales by Emily Lighthall Oberg. And the other one was Our Nice Little Town Christmas 3 by Tatiana Bogema-Stilova. Okay, so the next one is this Zen Color Glittering Winter Wonderland really glittery book. Really glittery book. So I have this one here is a whip that I'm working on. I really like the green and the cool violet. I'm not crazy about the pink, darker pink stuff. Even though it kind of ties it in with this, so I'm going to kind of go with it and see if adding a few more parts with the pink work, and I'll either keep it. I feel like it needs a bit of pink in between, but I didn't really put any in, and I didn't really want to make it here, but I might, we'll see. But if the pink doesn't work out, I'm either just going to cover it with like a glitter gel pen or lighten it with a semi-translucent paint pen or something of the sort. That's my plan. So I'm not worried about the pink bits. I'll just cover them up if I don't like how they look in the end. But this is what I was working on. Basically, it sat on my bedside, and when I had the eye infection and couldn't really see, I was just doing this. So, you know, there's parts of it that are really patchy because I couldn't see, and there's parts that are really out of the lines because I couldn't see, and I don't care. It's okay. I did choose this page based on the fact that I didn't really care if it looks a little messy. I just wanted something where I could color and you know, just put color to paper, right? So I will carry on. It just sits on my bedside, like I said, so I'll carry on through that, through January with that. My next WIP is in Frozen Nightmares by Fabiana Attanasio, and it is a group buddy color in this Mythagoria group that we have. So it's this Chickadees page, and so I've just done a little bit of alcohol marker basing. I have more sky to fill in, and I think it'll come together quickly, but I just haven't had a chance to get to it a whole lot, because there was a couple of pages that I kind of prioritized finishing over that because I knew I could work on that going into January, but I had a Christmas page that I really wanted to actually complete. Sorry, I need to have some coffee. So that is my WIPs, which is four WIPs, which isn't bad. And one of them, like I said, it's just going to go to next year. I'm not going to carry on. The other three I'll work on and actually finish, but the nice little town one I'm not going to finish. So then my next completed page, or my first completed page, is from Coloring Heaven Traditional Christmas Special that has all the Teresa Goodridge images. And so I did this, and I absolutely adore it. I based it almost entirely with my Inktense. And just hold on, I'm just going to get this stack here out of the way. Okay. So yeah, I based it with my Inktense, and then I went over for shading with my Prismacolors and used some glitter, and I think I showed you the glitter that I used in my top 10 pages video. But I used this Folk Art Extreme glitter for the gold glitter, which I really like. And I also went over this border with it. And then this Deco Art Galaxy glitter, which came from Michaels, is what I used for the glitter on the inside of the J and the Y. Yeah, I'm just super happy with how it turned out. There's some glitter gel pen in some places. I put glitter gel pen on the cat's eyes because I just couldn't decide what I wanted it to do. And I thought, you know, when you take a photo of a cat's eyes sometimes, or, you know, how eyes have that weird reflection thing. So that's kind of what I was thinking with the glitter there. But yeah, overall, I'm actually super happy with how it turned out. It's probably one of my favorite pages of the year. And so far, it's also my most upvoted page on Instagram. I did have a little smudge accident here because I used the gold Signo gel pen, and they're so juicy and liquidy, so I tend to smear them before they're totally dry. And then lots of white gel pen is for the accents as well. I don't think I used any paint pen. I think all of the white accents are the white Jelly Roll. So that is that one. My next completed page. This one I kind of worked on. I'll zoom you in a little bit. So this is the 130 Huga Scenes, and I keep saying I'm going to write down the book names that are in it, because it's basically just 4 Coloring Book Cafe cozy books in one. So this is from the Cute Shops. I think it's Cute Shops. And there's a lot of glitter on the snow. I don't know how well you guys can see it. but it is very, very glittery. So I did basically all alcohol marker, and I like how I did this little kind of stony facade of the shop building. And I didn't go in, I didn't want really colorful snow, but I wanted it to have some aspect of color. And I think I used my Colpart paint markers because they're like really translucent, like they're kind of translucent. They're not opaque paint pens at all, but that's why they did a really good job of just this kind of light glow on the snow, which actually, when I first did it, I wasn't happy with it, but I think it translates quite well to how the lights would look glowing on the snow. So yeah, I think it actually turned out really cute. I have lots of glitter gel pens on some of the ornaments here and stuff, and I like how I did the little paint pen dots on his hat to give it a fluffy look. And then I added these little gold designs on the sleds to make them, I don't know, look more Christmassy, but I like how I did them. So yeah, I'm happy with it. It's super crinkly, but I think that's what you get. It was the paint that actually made it super crinkly, because I used, what paint did I use? I have this giant paint from the dollar store, and it's well, it's 250 grams. It doesn't go by ounces, but I think it's 8 ounces. So it's a really big bottle though, and it was really cheap. But I thought it was perfect for just this kind of thing. And I think it is. The only thing is that it's not super, it could use a sealer because I can see some glitter on my desk here. So it's definitely, it needs a sealer. Actually, there's glitter all on the back of this page as well. So yeah, I should give it a seal. But other than that, that's that, and I'm happy with it. And my next completed page is my very first page in Bul Deul by Diane Dufour. And I'm so happy to finally get a page done in this book because I have been ogling it for so long. Oh, my coffee's already not hot enough. Okay, so I did this page here. That's basically the introduction to the winter section. And I'm really happy how I did, like I wanted to do a wood wall as if it's a picture hanging on a wall. And I kind of added this background to make it look kind of like a hazy brush field on a snowy sunrise morning. So I think I achieved what I was going for. I like the overall look of it. The only thing I could have done without was I went over all these little pine branches with the Uniball Gold Signo, and I think it was better if I hadn't done that. But you live and you learn. It's okay. I still like it a lot, and I'm still quite happy with it. But I think sometimes sometimes I want to go in with the gel pen, and then it just wasn't the right call. So yeah, it's all done with Prismacolor. Yeah, it's all done with Prismacolor. The only thing I used the gel pen for is the little tiny highlights on the berries, was like the little 0.5 Jelly Roll. And I think these might be paint pen, but they don't feel like paint pen. They feel like, I think they might be still Jelly Roll. Yeah, I don't know, like, because I kind of went in and made my own lines for shading to give texture to the snow. And then when I went over it, I want to say it feels like Jelly Roll, but it might be a little bit of paint pen. This does look like paint pen. So it might be the small Posca one. So anyway, that was Bul Deul by Diane DeFore. And then my next page that I completed was this PDF from Hannah Lynn's Whimsy Girls Christmas. And it was going to be a potential possible buddy color with Jamie, Jamie's Coloring Love, depending on how she did with her coloring. She had another Hannah Lynn page, and you know, we always tend to take on more than we can manage to get to usually, and so she decided that she wasn't going to be able to get to it, which is totally fair and reasonable. And we knew that when we said it was only like a maybe if she would get to it, she would do this page as well. So this was the page that I started doing when I started to be able to see a little bit, but I wasn't able to do anything with fine details. So the really thick black lines of Hannah Lynn's work was actually good for what I was able to do. And so I kind of went over things a lot. I had a lighter, I pictured her shirt being creamy, kind of creamy color, but then it was too much like her skin color. And so then I went over it with a beigey color, but it still looked pretty skin color and it looked kind of bland. So then I gave it little glitter gel pen polka dots. And again with smearing, I'm terrible for not letting it dry or for sticking my hand in what I've just put down. I did a little bit of Prismacolor shading, but I was fairly heavy-handed with it. Yeah, but I'm still happy with it. I tried to do like a Burberry plaid kind of hat for her, which I think was, I think it turned out cute. I think for such a big hat, it needed something. So Hannah Lynn, as you guys, if you know Hannah Lynn, you know that her coloring books had just the 2 sets of pages, but on her Etsy, on the PDFs, she has been updating the older books, and so a couple of them now have the simplified image. Instead of just having like only the 25 images, there's a full set of the simplified image. So I only printed out the simplified images. So I don't have any of the full images. I only have the simple ones because I thought it would be fun to kind of do the whole book as the simple images first. And then, you know, once I kind of better build up skill, we'll say, then I would do it again as the fuller images and be able to compare how my coloring has changed or improved. I just thought that was kind of a neat way to do it. Anyway, I'm also really happy with how I did the snow. It's very blue, but I think it's pretty realistic looking, and same as kind of like this hazy snow flurry background where you just can't really see what's in the distance and everything's just kind of blurry looking. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. My next one was a page. This one was a buddy color with Amy Ward art and Mindy, who is, I believe, coloring with Cats Among Orchids. And I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. I will put her name up at the top here. And so we did this this page here of the little mischievous elves that knocked over the paint. Well, this one little guy who knocked over the paint and everybody else is in shock about it. This was the page that I was working on and had done some basing with some, I think I used Super Tips for most of the basing. But then I had to stop and leave it because I got the eye infection. And so I was only able to go back to it like just a few days before Christmas. And I was really quite determined to finish this one before Christmas. And I think I didn't manage to finish it before Christmas, but I did manage to finish it before the end of December. So that was all that mattered. So it's mostly based with super tips. Some of the stuff like this wall and I think the floor are my Huga dual brush, like water-based markers. They have like the brush tip and then that little fine point on the end. I think everything, practically everything was based with marker. And then I went over with my Prismacolors and I did some shading. And I had wanted to try to do the paint done with like actual paint, but I don't have any good opaque paint pens. And I thought it was just too much effort by the time I was able to get to it. And like I said, it's the most Christmassy page, so I really didn't want to be bringing it into January with me. So I just tried to do a little bit of gel pen highlights on the paint to make it look a little bit liquidy. All of this Art Nouveau stuff around the outside is all the Uniball Gold Signo. And I think the red flowers, I didn't base them because I hadn't decided how I was going to do it. So I think they are only Prismacolor. But the holly and the berries and everything else did get based with markers. And yeah, again, I ended up quite happy with how it turned out. I actually really like the lighting effect that I got. The little fairy glitters I went over with some silver gel pen, and I did try to put a little bit of glitter paint on their wings. This one I tried to make colored like Tinkerbell. And they both did green dragons, and so I wanted to make sure that mine was different. Same, they also had both kind of grayish floor, so I was going to actually put in lines and make it look hardwood. But again, by the time I was finished, I just didn't want to. Plus, I wondered if making it look like wood beams would just be too busy because it's already such a busy page. Anyway, though, I'm going to move mine over and I'm going to show you both of their pages. I'll show you Amy's first, which turned out gorgeous. She was the first one to complete her page. And then I will show you Mindy's page. They both turned out super, super cute, and it was definitely a fun page to color. So even though I had to do it in 2 parts because of my eye infection, but yeah, I am really happy with how it turned out. I love the dragon. I think he really stands out, which is what I wanted. So yeah. I had based all of their skins in like 4 different markers, and the marker that I used for his skin was so bright pink, and so then I really had to try to, I think I went over with like a really yellowy kind of pencil to try to, I think I might have even gone over it with the chartreuse to try to tone it out, and I just kind of kept his cheeks and his mouth and the tip of his nose a little bit rosier. So I think it worked out okay. It's not my best work, but I'm still really happy with the page, and I think that's all that matters. And so then the last page that I managed, which technically I didn't finish it until January 1st, but I don't care. I'm calling it a December page. Is for the Matchstick Mouse, which is for my Matchstick Mouse Through the Seasons hashtag. So this was the December page, was Matchstick and her little niece and nephew looking off the deck. And so I wanted to make it like a really peaceful sunrise. And I think I achieved that. I think if you can really see through the page to the other side, but I'm wondering, that's all. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I'm really happy with it. It's entirely alcohol marker, and I really like the colors that I did on the sky and how I tried to make a little bit of the glow on the snow. I added the snowy bits to these little branch tips because it felt funny only having snow here, but I had already colored it green, so they're kind of yellowy, but that's okay. I also, all of my All of my alcohol markers are really bright, so I based them with the warm gray alcohol marker before I went over it with the pink alcohol marker, and I think it actually turned out really nice. I'm happy with the colors. It was quite what I was picturing. So yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I think it's very cute. And I can't wait to color the next page for January, which is going to be this page. And yeah, I'm quite excited. And then I think all of this is just like normal Posca white paint pen, like the normal extra fine, not the pen tip extra fine. So yeah. And then I did have to go, because I went over the little spider's legs. I just went over it with, well, not the brush one, but one of these Sakura Micron pens. So that is actually it. That is all my completed pages for December. I did not have a lot. It's 6 pages, but considering I had 2 weeks with an eye infection, I think that was pretty good. I was worried there for a little while that I wasn't even going to be able to complete any pages. I think the Teresa Goodrich one I managed to complete before I got the eye issue, and then these two, they were like almost done, and they just needed a couple little fine details, and I couldn't do it because I couldn't focus. I could not see anything fine. My vision was so blurry. And so so they just sat there waiting, and I'm thinking, oh no, like here it is December, and I'm seeing all these Christmas pages, and I'm not going to be able to post anything. So luckily, it cleared up, and we're all good. And my vision is not back to 100%. I do still notice it was my left eye, and usually my left eye is better at the close-up vision, but it is still blurrier than the other eye right now. So we're not 100%, but it's pretty good. I can color again. That's all that really matters. Well, I mean, the health of my eye is all that really matters, but I am happy to be able to color again. So my favorite page, that's a tough call, because I'm actually really in love with this page, and it makes me very happy to look at because it's just so cute and adorable, and I achieved the colors that I was going for. I really wanted a soft palette for the entire thing, and it to have that like cozy sunrise look, and I wanted these kind of muted tones for their little blankets and hat, and the really soft tones for the sunrise. So I really think I achieved what I was going for, and I'm really happy with that one. But I also am so in love with this page, and being my first Teresa Goodrich page that was not a gnomes page, I think I did pretty good, and I think I did a good job of making texture in the tree, and texture and depth in the wreath, and showing the different, the holly leaves are kind of the different color, and yeah, I think I'm happy with the depth that I created with it. So this is probably my number one, but this one is another really close contender because this, because I love it, but I definitely think the background, both parts of the background actually, I love how this part of the background turned out, and I love how this part of the background turned out with the wood grain. So yeah, they're kind of, I think this one, the Teresa Goodrich, inches out these two, but these two are tied for a really, really close runner-up. But I'm actually really happy with all of the pages that I did this month, I think. There's nothing that except for that nice little Town Christmas 3 whip that I just got frustrated with my colors with, but I know it's all easy fix. I don't think it's bad. I don't think I did bad colors. And the nice thing about Prismacolors is that they're so opaque that even if you go too dark, it is still it's still doable to bring back some lightness and contrast. And my little coal part acrylic paint pens that are not, or they're not paint pens, they're acrylic paint markers. But because they're only semi-opaque, they actually are really good for that same thing. They can bring back some lightness. So everything's fixable. Nothing is the end of the world, and I'm happy with what I got done. And considering for 2 weeks I couldn't color, I'm happy to be able to say that I completed 6 pages. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and thank you so much for sharing your time with me. And please consider giving it a thumbs up if you like this video, and comment down below. Tell me what was your favorite page. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Be kind to yourselves out there. Bye-bye.